Happy Wednesday, everybody. We are live, Kolah. Happy Wednesday.
Wednesday. Happy Wednesday.
We can give everyone like 2 minutes to join. Are
Yeah.
you so excited that the sun is still out and it's after 7?
Oh my gosh, I love this time of the year. So yes, I am. I love the like you. I like to be out in nature. I like to take walks. So yes, I'm very, very excited.
Yes. Happy Wednesday, everyone. This is our second week of our Her Story series. This year is 4 powerful interviews because there are 4 Wednesdays in the month. Hello, hello. People are commenting. Hey, Shantalea. I see that name. That's one of my good friends from the great state of Wisconsin.
Nice and built.
Yes, yes, yes. All right. Happy Wednesday, everybody. My name is Christine Joy. I am the founder and executive director of Purple House Project PA. We're a local nonprofit organization with a mission to strengthen, empower, and transition women impacted by intimate partner violence through connection with essential resources that aid in the healing process. March is Women's History Month. And we love hearing about the awesome testimonies. A few years ago, we decided to do this each Wednesday where we would interview a phenomenal woman in the community. We call it Her Story. And then at the end of it, we have a semicolon, which I learned from my old head Annette, who shared with me that the semicolon is often used in communities that have experienced great deals of trauma to symbolize when people could have gave up, but they decided to keep on going. And so everyone that we interview on a Wednesday has a phenomenal story about the importance of perseverance, um, struggles, but also triumphs as well. And so I'm super excited for tonight's interview. I've never met Kolah in person, but we had the opportunity to share a platform about a month ago, Cup of Tea Live with Tanea, and it was an instant connection on my end. And I was like, I need to connect with her after the interview. And I was just so in awe of your platform. My smile has a story to tell. And just in awe of the work that you do as a fellow social service provider, as a fellow therapist. And so I just wanted to like have you on our platform. So Kolah, thank you so much for your yes. Thank you for coming on to our platform. If you
Thank
could do us the honor of telling my audience who you are and what you do.
Yes, thank you so much. First of all, thank you for having me. I am so blessed and so honored to be on your platform because I love the work that you're doing. My name is Kola. About a year ago, I started a platform called My Smile Has a Story to Tell. And it is a platform where I encourage women to share their experience, strength, and hope, one smile at a time. And it started with 30 women, and we are just growing, growing, growing. And the goal is to change the narrative of women suffering in silence.
I love it so much.
Yes, suffering in silence. And so many times, if somebody would have just said something, a lot of things could have been avoided. And I
Yeah.
those women that suffered for years in silence didn't say anything, but I smiled through it. So
Yeah.
that smile has a story to tell started.
Yeah. I love that. I feel like transparency is such a powerful tool that we are like tapping into these days. And I feel like it is super liberating and freeing because you're like, wait, I'm not the only one who went through this, you know?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. So again, I'm just encouraged to just change the narrative. And as for women who have friends, I posted today, if you see something, say something. If you
Mm.
off with one of your fellow sisters, say something, inquire about that. So now, so many people now, it's like, I don't want to get involved. I don't want to ask any questions, but it could literally save someone's life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that that's super important to say too, because I think that a lot are worried about like offending people, but I feel like so long as your heart posture is right, most of the time people hear it like with love if you are saying it in love. You know what I mean? And so I feel like a lot of times people are able to receive it in love depending on who it's coming from. So I appreciate you saying like if you see something, say something. Because I know it's like a trendy term, but I think it is true. Like we are our sisters' keepers, and we do need to like look out for our sisters and things like that.
Yes, I like that heart posture. I never heard that, but if your heart is right.
Yeah, I mean, people gonna be able to feel it, right?
Yes, yes, I like that. Yeah,
So,
exactly.
so can you tell us a bit more about like your story? I know you talked to us about like why you decided to start your platform, but if you want to just share some of your story, like the passion behind starting it.
Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely. So, I grew up in New York. I'm a New Yorker, and I grew up in Brooklyn and in Queens. So, I believe one of the best boroughs is Brooklyn and Queens.
Okay.
When I was 7 months old, my mother, I was in the house with my mother, and she went into a coma.
Mm,
At about, from the story was, she went into a coma at about 9 a.m., and they didn't find us until about 6 p.m., and I was 7 months old. So for over 8 hours I was with her. And mind you, I'm 7 months old. I have no food because she went into a coma. They said that she was still alive, but somehow she managed to have me in like a football hole.
wow.
Yeah, it's amazing.
What
She,
mothers do, right? It's amazing. Yeah.
yeah, and now being a mother, that's even more amazing to me.
Yeah.
I understand it. She managed to have me, like, from what my father told me, in a football hole, and I was playing in her hair, and she was face down. And
Wow.
about 2 days later, she was pronounced. Um, so that kind of, so I was born in a very, I was my life just started in a very difficult situation. It was a tragedy, and from that from that time, that's why I say I'm from Brooklyn and in Queens. 'Cause I moved to Queens after my grandmother raised me. Her mother raised me, but my father was very active in my life, but he didn't raise me. I never lived with him since that time, and I never understood why. Like, I could go without, like, you know now, I'm a marriage and family therapist. I study mental health, different theories, and as a youngster, I could just be by myself for many hours. Like, I was very comfortable being alone. Not that I wasn't social, but I was okay. Like, I could go without. I could go for days without out stuff. And I kind of learned that, there's a theory called imago, that, your early interjects kind of shape who you are.
Mm,
Mind you, at 7 months old, I was left for many hours. A child needs to eat and stuff. So I'm thinking that that's where that came from.
mm,
Never understand, like, why am I, okay? Like, I'm okay with not getting attention. That's how I was for many, many years. And
oh,
it was comfortable for me. And with the imago, it's like in object relations, they
mm.
say whatever, trauma that you experience, even as an infant, will kind of shape who you are. So I believe now, hence many years later, that kind of shaped me to be okay. So that's where my suffering in silence, like, that was comfortable for me.
I never heard that term before. Imago. You said it's a theory. I gotta look that up.
Imago, and it's not all. It's like, hence many years later in graduate school
Mhm,
and my own therapy. Going through therapy, going through trauma, and I kind of, and my therapist was really big into object relations and imago therapy.
mhm,
We kind of worked through that, so that was pivotal for me in my healing journey,
mhm.
because it's not that I don't want attention, but I kind of was okay with not getting it, and
Yeah.
I kind of shaped that. But and again, I said, like, I was raised by my father, and my father was a very proud. He's alive, very proud Caribbean man. So, he would always. I was just telling Crystal, one of the sisters on the platform, like he would always have me dressed to the hills, ribbons, everything was matching. So I learned to be, so I was one way on the inside, but on the outside, I was a different way. I was
Mm,
always, father just really made sure I was like perfect on the outside.
mm,
And people always just assumed that I was okay because I looked okay.
mhm.
But inside, starting from a little girl, like I was sad, I was okay with being alone. I was, I had friends and everything, but it was just something missing on the inside. And again, I think that it was shaped from my early introject as an infant. And and that kind of shaped how I interacted and how people perceived me. People
Mm.
all that I was, this they perceived me one way, but I didn't feel that way inside. And again, this is so pivotal about my smile has a story to tell because I used to say, if only people really knew.
Yes. Like
So
that term, like when people say, "I don't look like what I've been through," kind of thing.
ex-
That's what makes me think of like your platform. Yeah.
exactly, I used to say, if only people really knew. They think that I'm this confident, happy person, and but I have a lot going on, and I never even knew that it would be a group, but that was something I used to say to myself for many years. It's like my smile has a story to tell.
So he was like affirming it, and then it became a group. Oh my gosh. And I've only been in a group for a little under a month, and I see it's all about like women's empowerment and lifting other women up. And I think I saw a little bit of resource sharing too. And so I appreciate that, like you created that platform because I feel like we need those platforms. Like you know what I mean? On so many different levels, we need those platforms because there are a lot of people, even if they don't like comment or like they are like definitely receiving that information and they probably needed exactly what you said in that very moment. Like just another way to show people like they're not alone, that they're seen, that they're heard. So I really appreciate that you have that platform. I think it's super powerful, like when we're in school and like our coursework becomes like our life work. I feel like for me, Purple House Project came out of a lot of different things, but one of the pivotal moments was like when I was doing a genogram assignment and I like how like much domestic violence was in my family, and I was like, whoa, you know what I mean? And so it sounds like you had a lot of introspection, like while you were in school too, huh? Would you say
Yes, yes, I remember the genogram.
that genogram will get you together? Oh my gosh, I was like, whoo, this is a lot.
Oh my God, you just took me back, and we had to present it in front of the whole class.
Wow, Cola, nowadays, I feel like I'm dating myself. Now these people could do genograms on a computer. I said I used to have to get a poster board with my pencil and scissors. My intern was telling me she was doing hers on a computer. You doing it on a computer
Wow.
now? I know.
Yeah, no, I did it on a poster board as well in
Yes.
front of the class, and and you see patterns, and you see. I like what you said, that your coursework becomes your life work, and that's
Yeah.
exactly what happened. And that's how you started Purple Heart. Wow, look at that, and that's how my group started from. My smile has a story to tell from things that were going on inside of me that I didn't even know.
Yeah. And so tell us more about like what like do you feel like you're like healing through the work that you're doing? Like I know for me with Purple House Project, I tell people everything I do for Purple House Project is like what I needed as I was going through a lot of things in life. And so like for example, like even like the tangible things like I know that I like needed help with transportation because I was a single mom and I needed to get here from there. So like applying for transportation grants is super important for me. And I know groceries was a struggle at one point. And so like being able to provide groceries, you know what I mean? Or connection to resources. Do you feel like the same with your organization, like that you're providing the things that you needed?
Oh, I like that you're calling it an organization.
Oh, I'm speaking it because you already know what our phone call was about. So I'm
Yeah,
hoping
we
that
had
you
our
plug in at the end of this call. But excuse me, your group future organization.
we already had that
We
conversation, so
already had it.
I received that. I totally received that. Um, but definitely, and that's what got me to start thinking of organization before we even spoke. Is because people keep saying it. I keep getting inboxes like this is really helping me. just the fact that, so I don't know, I live in the state of Delaware, and there's a big sign. They started this in the early 2000s, click it or ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Started changing the narrative in the state that if you come through the state and you don't have a seatbelt on, you're going to get a ticket, and whatever we find, you may go to jail.
Right.
Now, you come into the state of Delaware, people just know that they don't play no games, click it or ticket. And me, that's my goal, is to change the narrative of women just suffering in silence. How many children, how many women we could have saved if they would have just said something, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of inboxes like, you know what? Just hearing say something, I think that I am in an abusive relationship. I got that so many times.
Yeah.
And I think for me, that is totally like healing myself, because I found myself in an abusive situation, and I'm educated. I didn't understand, like, this thing could happen to anyone. How
Yeah.
did I get here?
Yeah.
Oh, how did I even get here when I was faced with that situation? That's part of my story as well. It's not a majority of it
Yeah.
because it lived, but I said something like, this don't even sound right. So definitely is healing from the inside.
Yeah.
It's so healing from the inside. And that's one of the things that I say too, is beauty is an inside job.
I love
Now,
that shirt. That she got a shirt that says it too.
yeah, beauty is an inside job. Is so like, so now the color that you see is healing from the inside. I feel like how I look today.
And that is so important. That is super important that your insides match your outsides. And I often like try to do like a pulse check with myself as well as my friends. I'm like, am I being like authentic? Like, I'm like, when you see me, what do you think? You know what I mean? Because I think that in a world where people only see the highlight reels, in a world where people see just like the good things, like, not saying that you want to share everything bad that happens to you, but like for me and for you, I feel like we talked about this at the beginning of the interview, the importance of like transparency. And I love that you said that your insides match your outsides and that you're a real person, you know what I mean, who has like all kinds of real feelings and all kinds of real emotions as well. So I
Yeah,
love it so much.
that, and again, that was through my healing, starting in 2017.
Wow.
And that wasn't that long ago, but now it's like everything matches up. And what you said, authentic, I'm authentic today. I don't just look a certain way and
Yeah.
I'm inside. That's not who I am. So it's definitely been a healing journey, and the group is just so a pivotal part of that.
Yeah. I'm super excited. Well, Kola, I don't know if you feel comfortable sharing, but I would love to share on our platform what you got like coming up, like how people could support you. I'd love to like talk about that.
Okay, great. So the organization, I am in the process of looking at different things.
I get so excited when a woman says she wants to start an organization. I just get so excited.
So that is definitely on the horizon. We had our first meet and greet in January. The organization part and the paperwork is amidst. And when that occurs, I plan to have a community outreach introducing the organization and involving the community. So that is really the biggest thing that I am excited and I'm working on for now. If people could share the group, if you're getting something out of it, please share, because we are just going to the next level of sisterhood, servitude, collaboration. I love to collaborate like we're doing now. So
Yes.
this is the direction that we're going. And like we spoke about a month ago, it's going into the direction of an organization so I could really be there to support queens in a different way.
Yes. And then tell them about your Etsy store. I was this close to ordering something and then I didn't have my card in my bed near me. So I was like, I think it's probably a good thing. But like I was like looking at all the shirts. I was like, oh, I want this one. I want this one. I was like, oh
So
shoot,
you
my
went
card's
Etsy,
out. Like,
you saw it on Etsy?
yes, I was like, Etsy store.
Oh,
Loved it all.
part of the healing again was in 2023, 2022, with all this healing and inspiration. And I have hashtags, right? We all have hashtags.
Yes, mine's is hashtag grateful.
Yeah, we all have hashtags. So I decided to put them in. I just was praying one day to God to expand my vision, expand my vision, expand my vision, open the eyes of my understanding. This is how I talk to God, y'all.
Mm.
Like, really, like I'm asking for things because my faith is on a whole different level now.
Yes.
So I'm asking, like, let me see somebody walking on water. Like, you just like I'm on a whole different level with my faith. So I was asking God to expand my vision, and the truth was created, which
Mm.
my for-profit is my LLC, and it's an inspirational t-shirt line. It's called The Truth because all of the sayings on the shirt is about my life. It's about me. It's my truth. Like beauty is an inside job. That's what I used to say to myself. My smile has a story to tell, and it's a lot of different things, but it's about my truth. And I put it on an inspirational t-shirt line on Shopify and on Etsy. And that's also part of my story, and I never thought, that I was gonna start a t-shirt line, an inspirational t-shirt line, but that's is all connected. So thank you so much for even seeing the Etsy store just opened.
Really? Yeah, it looks really good. I promise you, if I would have had my card next to my bedside, I was like, oh my God, my card downstairs. So,
Yeah,
but
it just opened like in like maybe 2 months, 3 months ago. Shout
oh
out
wow.
to daughters. I have twin daughters who have been amazing, and they're in college, and they have really helped their mom with all of this stuff. So shout out to my girls, and so and all of them are hashtags and something personal for me. So thank you for telling me that you looked at it. Just whenever
Yeah.
you're going to be there. It's going to just keep growing, and they're all going to be something about my life, my truth, and what I've experienced.
And I'm sure your daughters are so proud of you because I know as a mom and as a daughter, I look back and I am just in awe and so proud of my mom. So I can only imagine how proud your daughters are of you and all the awesome work you do. I think that like oftentimes moms forget like what they've done or like they just have done it for so long, and like I think us as children, especially as daughters, especially when we're a part of the work and we see the journey, we're just like in awe. So I'm sure your daughters are probably so proud to help you in your journey and all the things.
When we heal, we don't, when we heal, we are actually helping our daughters to.
Yes.
If I would have stayed in a sick and suffering place, that would have definitely affected my daughters.
Mm.
Now, it could go both ways. So that's the important part of this,
Yeah.
lady. It goes both ways. If you're sick and suffering and in toxic relationships, your daughters see that. If you're healing and you're coming out on the other side and you're making different decisions, your daughters see that too. So
Yes.
said that I swear literally last night my daughter said, "Mom, you've overcame so much." She just said that last night.
I could just feel it because I say that to my mom all the time. I'm like, Mom, you are so strong. You have overcame, and I've only known a fraction of, you know what I mean? Because there's still certain things that we don't know. Just like as a mom, there's certain sacrifices my son will never know that I made, and I know now as a daughter, like I'm just like I only seen a fraction of what you went through for the last 33 years. You know what I mean? But like what it took to get there. So yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, she just said that yesterday, so thank you for that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that that's so important about like the healing and the transparency because I think that oftentimes, social media and society we talk about like generational like breaking generational curses, but I think what we also need to talk more about which I think you talk about is like generational healing, like just showing your daughters like what forgiveness looks like, what restoration looks like, what healing looks like, and yeah, so
That is, yes, with generational healing, yes. And it's just as important.
oh 100%, yeah.
It's just as important, and it's actually helping my future granddaughters. I don't even have them yet. They're not. My kids are not even thinking about having kids. My healing is definitely going to affect how they deal with their children.
Yeah, I saw a quote something about like how like my children's children won't need to even know what X, Y, and Z, like you know what I mean. It was just certain toxic traits that like their children's children wouldn't need to know about, and it was because they decided to do the work, at this point. So
That's right. That's right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I am super grateful for you and like sharing this platform. And I feel like this is like a really good segue into me sharing about our upcoming events. Because
Okay.
when I'm thinking about like generational healing and generational trauma and all those things, we are doing a screening of The Color Purple, not the entire film, but just certain clips. And we are going to look at the trauma as well as the healing that happened, because there was a lot of healing that happened in that movie. There was lots of signs of like hurt, but there was also signs of joy, restoration. And so on March 30th, we're collaborating with Crime Survivors for Safety and Justice to screen this film, as well as we're going to have like two licensed clinical social workers facilitate, Lakia and Annette facilitate some healing techniques and some therapeutic interventions that we can incorporate in our daily lives, as well. So that's March 30th, at Salt and Light Church. If anyone is interested, it's a free event.
What
It
church?
it's called Salt and Light. It's at 57th and Chester Avenue. It's in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Um, it'll be on our website, proposprojectpa.org. But I just thought that was a good segue because, we're talking about generational healing and generational trauma. And this was actually my first time seeing The Color Purple. I have not seen the original.
Original?
And,
Yeah.
no, I haven't seen it yet.
See this one yet?
Okay.
Yeah.
It's so good. Yeah. What you gonna say?
I want. You said that's on your page. I would like to share that on our group page because I'm definitely interested in coming to that event.
Yes, yep. I'll definitely share, but yep, it's on our page, Purple House Projects Facebook page, and then our website as well.
Great.
Well, Cola, is there any like words of like wisdom or like hope that you would share with our audience for those who are like suffering in silence? Like, is there anything you would say to them?
Yes, definitely. Tomorrow's a new day. No matter
Yes.
what you're going through today, do not give up. Do not succumb. Do not succumb. Do not give up hope. Tomorrow is a new day. Pick up, say a prayer, call a friend, and get help.
Yeah.
Not accept what's going on today. Don't let a temporary situation cause you to make a permanent decision
Yes, I love that quote. I love that quote so much.
and cause you to make a permanent decision. Reach out to someone that you could trust and start from there.
Yeah.
And because nothing is going to stay the same. Only thing that's going to stay the same is if you give up hope and you just stay in that situation. But tomorrow is a new day. Pick up, call someone, and take one step at a time.
Yeah. My friend Chantalea always says it to her kids, but I think it's true in every part of our lives that like every day we get a reset. Every day we get a reset. You know what I mean? And so I'm glad you said that because that is so important.
Every day we get a reprieve, take a break and just get back up and start again.
Yeah.
Lift yourself up and try again. Like the
Yeah.
song
Yes, yes. And
says.
and and Cola and I both have awesome platforms that you don't have to do it alone. There's gonna be a tribe of women, people cheering you on as you get up. And I highly encourage all of you to get connected to Cola's group, soon to be organization. We're gonna put it in the chat once the live is over. We'll put like her Etsy store, and then we'll also put
Shop
can
up.
you Shopify it. And can we put a link to the group or do we just put the name of the group in the comments and people could find it that way?
I think we could put a link to the group. It's on, yeah, it's because I have it pinned on top of the group. Yeah,
Okay.
there's a link on there.
Cool, cool, cool. Well, Cola, thank you so much. Is there any other announcements you got? Any upcoming like things that you need to any call to actions, any supports that you need from the
And so
audience to know?
I just want you guys, everyone to know that the group is here to support. I am a therapist. I work outside of the Wilmington area. We have a slew of therapists for trauma, drug addiction, grief and loss. We have certified thenologists. If you need a therapist, I couldn't be your therapist if you're in the group because it's a conflict of interest, but I could get you to someone, a professional that could help you. And we also do telehealth. It's called the Center for Grief and Trauma Therapy. We also do telehealth. So please, if you're thinking, I think I need someone, we have people that can help you. That's the first step is getting with people that could help you. Okay, so don't be afraid to reach out. And again, we do telehealth, so you could literally be in, let's say, Jersey, and have a therapist via Zoom. You know,
Do y'all take insurance? I know that's always a question that a lot of the people we serve ask.
yes, for now, she does have a cap. The owner does have a cap.
Okay.
Um, take Aetna and Blue Cross Blue Shield for now, but that's not going to be much longer. I heard talks about them. So get in now if you
Get
need.
it in there. Get it in there. Okay, good to know. And then after the live is over, if we could drop that link in the chat too.
Okay.
And we have it on our website too, because on our website we have a mental health tab too, where we have a list of mental health providers. If you or someone you know needs access to mental health providers, some take insurance that are on the list, some don't. The ones that don't, sometimes they have a sliding scale. And then also on our website, there's a scholarship. It's called the Love Land Foundation. Have you heard of them before, Cola?
Love Land, like LA.
Yes, they provide scholarships for people to go to therapy. So people can't pay for co-pays. They have like a scholarship. When funds are available. It's a pretty cool organization.
Gosh, yes, I want to know about that. We need to share that.
Yes, Love Land Foundation. I think that's on our website under mental health resources.
Okay.
Well, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. Cola, thank you so much for coming onto our platform. Next week, I will be interviewing Adira. Adira is a powerhouse. She is a lawyer. She has an office for victims in Center City, and she is going to be here to talk to us about the services that are available to people who have experienced all kinds of violence. And she'll be sharing resources, information, and how to contact their office. So same time next week, Wednesday, March the 20th at 7 p.m. on Facebook Live and now on YouTube, because we have both now, Facebook Live and YouTube. I just want to thank you so much for like tuning in. Kola, thanks for sharing your story. Thanks for sharing information. And we look forward to opening your organization with you.
Thank you. Thank you. I look forward to the collaboration. Thank you so much, Christine. I appreciate you.
Have a good night, everybody.
Good night. Thank you.